Hello and welcome to Insecurity. I am Matt Stevenson. It is the storm before the storm. If you can't hear all of the construction, it is day one, day zero maybe of RSA.
Day 1/2.
Something
right?
like that.
It starts this evening.
Who better to start with? An industry legend, author, chief research analyst at IT Harvest, Richard Stiennon. We mentioned author, so let's start with that. We're opening with the shameless plug. It's finally here. We've talked about it a couple of times before. Let's do a quick plug for the book. What's going on with Security Yearbook?
Yeah, so you were actually the first one to tell the world that I was working on this way last year at Black Hat, and since then I published it, and we're launching it here at RSA 2020, Security Yearbook 2020. It's a complete history of the IT security industry as well as a directory of all the vendors, of which there are 2,336.
It is a dynamic document, though, so that number is a little bit...
Well, the number changes constantly. We went to press probably end of November. I've added maybe 31 to my database since then and taken a few out because there have been some major acquisitions.
So that is one of the things we wanted to talk about. You can pick this up at Amazon. Make sure that you get this. This is, trust me, you're going to want to read this. But talking about the number of things changes, there are some high-profile absences this year due to the coronavirus. At a show like RSA, when everybody is here, how big of an impact does that have?
Yeah, I think especially those particular vendors, where security is only a minor part of who they actually are, right? A couple of carriers, a big computer background company. I don't think it has a big impact at all. There may be some empty booths. There's certainly fewer sponsors on RSA's website, but I don't think they'll have any impact. We won't notice that there's a thinning of the crowd or anything like that because of their absence. Could have been a lot worse, right? If a whole bunch of people pulled out, or if some of the companies that we really wanted to see here had pulled out, that would have been bad.
Yeah.
But
one we appreciate for the safety of their employees, but it also, we were talking a little bit before, it's kind of a metaphor for what's happening in the industry. It feels like right now is a perfect time to do the book and to keep it dynamic because we've seen some really high-profile acquisitions, consolidations. Some of those companies aren't really around the way they were anymore. So when you come to RSA leading throughout the summer into Black Hat, again, what's the impact there as far as opportunities for the new guys? Are people going to start banding together? What do you see?
Yeah, I like that metaphor because the industry has always had this exit route for startups, right? Startups are funded by venture capitalists who want to make a killing, right, at some huge valuation. And we've always had Symantec, McAfee, to maybe CA, all doing those exits, and they'd suck those companies in and then sell them out through their channel, and it was a successful model for 2 decades. Those companies are completely off the board, maybe with the exception of McAfee, but Symantec's been acquired by the same organization that acquired CA.
All right, I mean, who'd have thought that?
Yeah, never would have thought that. And I imagine they're not going to do a lot of what they used to do, which was acquire the probably leading company in each sector and attempt to sell through to their channel. So Cisco, Palo Alto are stepping in to fill that void. And then the one thing that I see and I'm still coming to grips with is the private equity companies are doing that as well. But private equity, thinks differently than a Symantec used to, right? Symantec's looking for technology and people. Private equity is looking for cash flow that they can somehow leverage into an IPO later or a flip of some sort. So I think, I'm looking for maybe some of those big private equity plays to get back into the game of doing acquisitions of those small startup realm kind of companies. And other than that, I'm looking for, who else is going to step up to the plate and fill that huge void. But somebody will.
That is the book. You published, 2 weeks ago? Week and a half ago?
Yep.
Which means hard at work on 2021.
Yep.
And as you come out here, are there any technologies that maybe weren't quite ready to be bold-faced in the 2020 edition that you're thinking this is the year for these get people to go from here and take that next step?
Gartner calls SASE, a bunch of other people refer to themselves anyways as zero trust of some sort. But as I look at it, it turns out there's as many buckets in that space as there are in the security space. So there's zero trust networking, there's zero trust application access, there's zero trust data security. We're going to have some method of cloud deployment of zero trust that relies on identity for each of the buckets. And it might not be a separate segment. It's just going to be, this is how you do those things in the cloud.
Right.
And I'm working on trying to get my thoughts together on that with the help of all the players, because they're more than happy to tell me.
Yeah, 70,000 of your closest friends just
That's
to see
right.
what's going on with that. All right, so you are here flogging the book. You're doing research. Have at it. Whole world, Richard, they already know you. So if they're looking for you, they're looking for the book, more info. Where do they go?
So if you're here at RSA, go to Spirant's booth. So they sponsored the book for this year, and I'm signing it 1 p.m. Tuesday and Wednesday. The rest of the time you can go to the bookstore where the book is for sale, or you can come to the Anisham booth where I'm actually selling the book.
Look at that. Buy the book, man. It's always good for that. What about you? If they're
a good
looking for
thing.
you out on social media, what's going on?
Yeah, follow me at Cyberwar on Twitter. And
Well, don't
you,
tell
can
me,
find
tell
me,
them.
you can find me on LinkedIn, and I'm also at Stiennon on Twitter. And you might as well not bother on Facebook, but you can reach out there too.
And you should know this by now. If you do hit him up with questions, he does answer them. That's how I first met him in the first place. As far as we go, you know where you can find us. We are at BlackBerry and at Cylance Inc. on the Twitter as well as LinkedIn. We do a little bit on Facebook. I'm Matt Stevenson. Look for me at PacMat73. It's RSA, baby. We're going to be here all week. All kinds of cool stuff. We'll see you soon.